What does progress, not perfection, mean? Progress, not perfection, just means to focus on the progress you're attaining moment to moment each day rather than focusing on achieving perfection. Hi, I'm Lacey. I work as a mental health counselor. Today I just wanted to break it down a little bit further. So if we look at the definition of progress, if something is in progress, it is happening in the here and now. And perfection means without flaws or defects. Progress seems to be more about what's happening in the here and now, being with yourself in a supportive way. It's being able to accept the moments where you have achieved something and accepting the moments when you might recognize there's still room for improvement. Progress, if it were a human, might say things like, "Good job on that. Hey, you did good today. You made a mistake, but that's okay. Let's see what we can learn from it. It's okay to feel angry and sad. Wow, you're learning a lot. Way to go." Perfection, on the other hand, is more future focused. It centers on the idea that we have to be anybody but ourselves to be good enough. Perfection has strict rules that get triggered in any given situation because perfection is on the constant lookout for things that don't fit the idea. And there's not a lot of room for human error. If perfection were a person, it might say things like, "You shouldn't feel angry. You didn't handle that well. That's unacceptable. You made a mistake. You're no good. You're not allowed to have a bad day. You must do everything right to be good enough." With perfection, a lot of things are just unacceptable, especially being human. You may hear yourself use a lot of should statements. I should have known better. I should do this better. I shouldn't have done that. And should statements are just unrealistic rules that we place on ourselves. Why is aiming for perfection a bad thing? Well, you can already see the negative effects of aiming for perfection. But another reason is because the goalpost is constantly moving. The expectations might get higher or they might get further away, and you spend a lot of emotional and mental energy trying to reach these goals, but you're constantly just missing them, and that could be very discouraging. Nothing seems good enough. Many people already don't feel good enough, but aiming for perfection is not the antidote to that, because it actually reinforces those beliefs. If you think about it, if you're aiming for perfection and you're setting the bar high and you're constantly missing it, then feelings of inadequacy, not being good enough, feeling like a failure are constantly going to be surfacing. So if I set the bar high for myself and I constantly miss the bar, then I'm going to think to myself, wow, I knew I wasn't good enough, or wow, I knew I was a failure. So aiming for perfection can reinforce negative self-beliefs. So the good news is if you're the one setting the bar high, then you can also lower the bar. So what you can do instead is move the bar to the here and now, focusing on the here and now. Instead of focusing on trying to achieve perfection, look for things throughout the day that you feel like you did well. These are the small wins in the here and now. It could be things like you notice you were in a decent mood most of the day, or you might have handled a situation well, or treated someone with kindness, or completed most of the tasks you had to do that day. When you focus on the small wins, it makes you feel better about yourself and your efforts. If you notice yourself shift to perfection, just make an effort to shift back. Another thing is practicing self-acceptance. When we aim for perfection, it's like we're missing a piece. We're trying to be this person, but we haven't yet accepted this person. Being able to be okay with being human sometimes is a goal in itself. An example of not accepting your humanness, a lot of people struggle accepting feelings of anger. They might reject it at all costs, deny that they're feeling angry, and just view it as unacceptable. But anger is a normal human emotion, and on the positive side, anger comes up when your boundaries are being violated, when you're not living in alignment with your values. And sometimes anger can be motivating and help you to achieve certain things. So anger is not a bad emotion. It can have value. When you don't allow for certain things, then when anger does come up, not only do you feel angry, but then you might feel bad about yourself for feeling angry. Just be curious about what's happening rather than trying to deny or push away. When you practice accepting yourself, you don't have to like what's happening. It's more so just about making room for the moments where you are struggling, where you're feeling uncomfortable. Maybe you've made a mistake, or you're just experiencing being a human. So being able to look for the small wins in the here and now rather than reaching for perfection does take a little bit of practice, but it's a lot better for your mental health, because perfection is unattainable, but progress is. Thank you for watching.